The jungle sleeps under a silent sky. But tonight, something feels different. The air is heavy, thick with a tension that even the wind seems to carry. The usual chorus of insects and frogs is quieter than normal, as if nature itself is holding its breath. High above the treetops, the full moon rises, massive, glowing, watching. Its silver light pours over the jungle like a veil, turning leaves into shadowy patterns and turning the dark into something almost alive. The animals feel it. Something ancient is stirring. From deep within the trees, a low growl rumbles through the ground. It's distant, but powerful, enough to send birds flying from their nests and silence even the boldest of jungle sounds. Then, from the heart of the jungle, a massive figure moves. A silverback gorilla steps into a moonlit clearing, his chest rising and falling slowly. His eyes glow with quiet strength. He knows this jungle, every leaf, every sound, every shift in the wind. And he knows something is coming. Suddenly, from far across the jungle, a different sound breaks through. A howl, long, sharp, and unnatural. It doesn't belong to any animal here. It's wild, angry, lost, and it's getting closer. The gorilla stands still, listening. His muscles tense, his breath deepens. The guardian is ready. But he's never faced this kind of darkness before. The moon watches above. The jungle holds its breath. The battle is about to begin. They call him Kumba. Towering above the tallest bushes with arms like tree trunks and eyes full of wisdom, he's more than just a gorilla. He's the jungle's protector. Born in the heart of the wild, raised among ancient trees and roaring rivers, Kumba is a legend whispered between the rustling leaves. For years, he's kept balance in this untamed world. He's fought off snakes longer than cars, chased away poachers who dared set traps, and even stood between a leopard and a newborn deer. The animals don't fear him, they follow him. Wherever he walks, the jungle seems to breathe a little easier. But Kumba doesn't seek attention. He moves with purpose, disappearing into the shadows as quickly as he appears. A broken tree branch, a fresh footprint, the distant sound of his chest beat. These are the only signs that he's nearby. He listens to the land. He knows when danger creeps in. And tonight, the trees are whispering louder than ever. Something unfamiliar has entered his territory. A scent that doesn't belong. A sound that doesn't match any animal he's faced before. Kumba climbs to a ridge, the moon casting a pale glow across his powerful frame. He gazes into the darkness. His instincts scream a silent warning. The protector of the jungle is on alert, and he's not alone out there. Luca was once a man of adventure, a scientist and explorer who sought the unknown. His curiosity led him deep into the heart of the jungle, where few humans dared to venture. He had heard stories, legends of a hidden cave, said to be filled with ancient carvings and a power older than time itself. But it wasn't the history that called to him. It was the mystery. He found the cave one stormy night, its entrance hidden by thick vines and moss. Inside, the walls were covered with strange symbols, glowing faintly as if they had a life of their own. It was there, amid the whispers of the jungle, that he made the fateful decision to explore deeper. As he ventured further, the air grew thick and warm, and a distant howl echoed through the dark tunnels. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up, but he pressed forward. That's when he found it, the stone altar at the heart of the cave, inscribed with the image of a wolf, its eyes glowing as if alive. As Luca reached out to touch it, the ground beneath him trembled, and in that instant, everything changed. The air around him shifted, and with a sudden, searing pain, his body began to transform. His muscles expanded, his bones cracked, and his senses sharpened to an unbearable degree. The beast inside him awoke. His mind screamed for control, but it was too late. The curse of the wolf had claimed him. From that night on, Luca's world was a blur of chaos. By day, he was human, a man who could never remember what happened in the night, By night, he was something else, something monstrous, driven only by the full moon and the hunger for the hunt. Each time the moon rose, he would lose himself, his body morphing into the terrifying form of a werewolf, and each time he awoke, there was destruction around him, blood on his hands, and no memory of what had transpired. Now, every full moon, the curse pulls him back to the jungle, where his fate and the fate of the creatures who live there hang in the balance. Tonight, the curse calls louder than ever, and as the moon rises, Luca, once again, is no longer the man he once was. The wolf inside him takes control. The full moon rises higher in the sky, its glow bathing the jungle in an eerie silver light. The once quiet and peaceful jungle now feels like a powder keg, ready to explode. The air is thick with unease, and the animals are no longer just hiding. They're terrified. Something is coming. Kumba, perched high in the treetops, senses it long before he sees it. His eyes narrow, his muscles tense. The familiar sounds of the jungle, crickets, rustling leaves, are gone, replaced by a silence so deep it feels unnatural. He can feel the weight of the night pressing down on the land, and with it, the heavy presence of something dark and dangerous. A howl rips through the silence, cutting the air like a blade. It's distant at first, but then louder, closer. Kumba's eyes flicker to the horizon. The moonlight dances on the rippling river below, but in the shadows, something moves, something fast, something wild. The growl grows louder, echoing through the trees. Then, a flash of fur. A massive, terrifying form appears, moving with terrifying speed. A werewolf. Its eyes glow red, burning with fury, and its teeth glint like daggers in the moonlight. Kumba's heart pounds in his chest. He's faced many threats in his life, but this is different. The werewolf isn't just another predator. It's something untamable, something that doesn't belong here. And it's coming straight for him. Kumba's instincts kick in. He leaps from his perch, landing silently on the jungle floor. His powerful fists slam into the earth, sending shockwaves through the ground. He beats his chest, a primal challenge to the beast that dares to enter his territory. The werewolf stops, eyes locked on Kumba. The moonlight glints off its sharp claws as it lets out a deafening roar, ready to tear through the jungle. The battle is imminent. The jungle itself holds its breath, waiting for the clash of two forces, the guardian and the monster, each with the strength to claim dominion over the wild. The full moon watches above, as if it's waiting for the outcome. The jungle trembles, the stage set for a battle that will shake the earth itself. The two beasts face each other in the clearing, the tension palpable in the air. The jungle falls completely silent, as if even the trees are holding their breath. Kumba stands tall, muscles rippling under his thick fur, eyes burning with a fierce protectiveness. Across from him, the werewolf snarls, its glowing red eyes locked on its prey. Its claws scrape against the earth, leaving deep grooves in the soil. With a sudden roar, the werewolf lunges forward, its powerful limbs propelling it like a missile through the air. Kumba reacts in an instant, ducking low, narrowly avoiding the werewolf's razor-sharp claws. The force of the werewolf's charge causes a nearby tree to snap, falling with a deafening crash. Kumba's massive hands fly up to block the next strike, pushing the werewolf back with a grunt of effort. The two beasts grapple in the center of the jungle, each trying to overpower the other. The ground shakes beneath their struggle, vines twisting and breaking with every collision. Kumba swings a massive fist toward the werewolf, but the creature is fast, faster than anything Kumba's ever encountered. The werewolf ducks and counters with a savage swipe of its claws, grazing Kumba's side. Blood begins to seep from the wound, but Kumba doesn't falter. He growls low, more determined than ever. The battle rages on, fast and furious. The werewolf attacks with relentless speed, leaping from tree to tree, landing with bone-crushing force. Kumba, with his immense strength and incredible endurance, retaliates with brutal power, using the jungle's natural elements to his advantage. He rips a vine from the trees, wrapping it around the werewolf's neck and yanking it down, slamming it against the earth with a mighty thud. But the werewolf is unyielding, and with a howl of pure fury, it pushes off the ground and tackles Kumba to the earth. The jungle trembles beneath their weight as they continue to wrestle, growling and snarling, neither willing to back down. Kumba grits his teeth, his mind racing. He's never fought anything like this before, something so wild, so unpredictable. But he knows he cannot let this creature win. The jungle depends on him. The animals depend on him. With a final burst of strength, Kumba manages to free himself, rolling to his feet just in time to face the werewolf's next charge. Their eyes meet for a brief moment, an unspoken challenge, and then the battle resumes with a fury unlike any other. The battle seems endless, both beasts locked in an unyielding clash, the jungle around them shaking with each powerful strike. Kumba's muscles burn with exhaustion, blood dripping from his side where the werewolf's claws left their mark. But he doesn't stop. He can't. The jungle relies on him. The werewolf, on the other hand, is relentless, its primal fury driving it forward. It's faster, more unpredictable, but Kumba knows something the werewolf doesn't. The strength of the jungle isn't just in its size, but in its heart. With a sudden, calculated movement, Kumba steps aside, avoiding the werewolf's charging attack just in time. The beast stumbles forward, momentarily off balance. Kumba doesn't hesitate. He swings a massive fist, landing a heavy blow to the werewolf's chest, sending it crashing into a nearby tree. The sound of splintering wood echoes through the jungle. For a moment, everything is still. The werewolf groans, disoriented. Kumba stands over it, breathing heavily, his eyes filled with the weight of the battle. But as the moonlight catches the werewolf's features, something shifts. There's a brief moment of recognition in its eyes. Kumba watches carefully, his mind racing. He's never seen this creature so vulnerable before, and for the first time he realizes this isn't just a mindless monster. It's a victim, too. The werewolf struggles to its feet, its red eyes now clouded with confusion. It's still powerful, but there's something broken about it. The primal rage that had fueled the battle begins to fade, replaced by a flicker of something else. Something human. Kumba steps closer, cautiously. The werewolf growls, but it's weaker now, its muscles trembling. It looks at Kumba, not as an enemy, but as something else. A brief flash of recognition, of humanity, passes through its gaze. Kumba's expression softens. He doesn't raise his fists. Instead, he lowers them, his body language peaceful. He's not here to destroy. He's here to protect, even from the darkness that lives within this creature. Slowly, the werewolf's form begins to change. Its fur recedes, its claws retract, and the beast's terrifying form begins to shrink. The transformation is painful, slow, but inevitable. And as the full moon's power begins to wane, the werewolf's human form returns. Luca, now a man again, collapses to his knees. He looks up at Kumba, his eyes filled with confusion and gratitude. The curse has lifted, at least for now. Kumba stands over him, watching quietly, knowing that this battle was never truly about fighting. It was about understanding. And now, with the moon setting, the jungle begins to heal. The once monstrous werewolf is no longer the creature that threatened everything Kumba holds dear. Now, he is simply a man who can begin to rebuild his life, thanks to the guardian who chose to show mercy instead of destruction. The jungle begins to quiet down, the heavy air lifting as the full moon slowly starts its descent. The battle is over, but the land feels changed. The broken trees, the displaced vines, the blood spilled, it all seems to fade into the background as the jungle breathes a collective sigh of relief. Kumba stands tall, his eyes still fixed on Luca, the man now kneeling in the moonlight. a look of exhaustion and disbelief in his eyes. For a long moment, neither moves. The silence is heavy with meaning, the weight of what just happened lingering in the air. Luca's breath is ragged, his body bruised and battered from the transformation and the battle. He raises his eyes to meet Kumba's gaze, a mixture of gratitude and sorrow in them. I didn't mean for this, he mutters, his voice shaky. I never wanted to hurt anyone. Kumba watches him for a long moment. There's no anger in his eyes, only understanding. This man, this creature wasn't evil. He was a victim of the curse, just like the jungle had been a victim of the chaos it brought. The jungle's protector doesn't act with vengeance, but with the quiet strength of those who know how to heal. Luca shakily rises to his feet, still weak from the transformation. He looks around at the destruction, guilt washing over him. But before he can say another word, Kumba steps closer, his massive form looming protectively over him. With a deep, rumbling grunt, Kumba points toward the jungle's edge, where a faint light begins to break through the horizon. The first light of dawn. The jungle's healing is already starting. Luca, still in disbelief, looks up at the great gorilla. You saved me? Kumba doesn't answer with words. Instead, he gives a low, gentle growl, a sign of solidarity, of understanding. The jungle might have been in chaos, but Kumba knows this was never about winning a battle. It was about saving what could still be saved. Luca's eyes well with tears. Thank you, he whispers, his voice breaking. For the first time, he's not a monster. He's simply a man, standing before the guardian of the jungle. As the sun's rays start to filter through the leaves, Kumba slowly turns away, his heavy steps fading into the jungle. Luca watches him go, his heart full of gratitude. There's a new dawn, not just for him, but for the jungle itself. The battle is over, but the healing has only just begun. Kumba, the jungle's protector, knows his work is never truly done. But for now, the jungle is at peace once again. The jungle awakens as the first rays of sunlight pierce through the thick canopy. The battle is over, and the land seems to breathe again, calmer now, as though the jungle itself had been holding its breath, waiting for the dawn. The broken branches, the marks of the struggle, all begin to fade under the soft light of day. Kumba, the mighty guardian, moves silently through the trees, his silhouette barely visible against the rising sun. The jungle seems to hum with life, as if it's come back to its natural rhythm. The sounds of birds calling, leaves rustling, and the soft murmur of a distant stream fill the air once more. Luca, now free from the curse, stands on the edge of the clearing, his body weary but his spirit lighter. He watches Kumba disappear into the shadows, his heart heavy with the realization of what just happened and what he's been given, another chance. For the first time in a long while, Luca feels something he hasn't in years: hope. The curse that had controlled him, twisted him, had finally been broken. The weight that had haunted his every step, the hunger that had taken over his mind, was gone. And now, standing in the quiet aftermath of the battle, he knows he owes his freedom to the very creature he had once considered an enemy. As Kumba disappears deeper into the jungle, Luca feels a quiet sense of gratitude. He knows he won't forget this night, or the guardian who saved him from the darkness that had consumed him for so long. But there's something else, something new within him, a promise to himself and to the jungle. He would never forget the lesson Kumba had taught him. Sometimes, mercy is the most powerful weapon of all. The jungle is healing, and so is he. Luca takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of the night finally lift from his shoulders. The sun continues to rise, and for the first time, he can see the path ahead, free from the curse. The battle was fierce, but in the end, it wasn't about destruction. It was about saving what was worth saving. With one last glance at the jungle that had become his battleground, Luca turns away, walking toward a future he now believes is his to shape. And though Kumba has faded into the wild, His presence will always linger, a silent protector watching over the jungle as it heals and begins again. The jungle, like Luca, has been given a new beginning. And with it, hope.